Hi guys, my name is Rachel Beth, and in this video I'm showing you how to make a Charmander. So we did Squirtle already, and now I'm going to show you how to do Charmander. A lot of it is quite similar, so I won't go through all of it, but I hope you enjoy. Bye! So what you're going to need is your stuffing. So I get mine from an old pillow. You're going to need your orange wool and a cream wool, and then you're going to need a small bit of yellow and a small bit of red, which isn't necessary. I'm using a 4mm crochet hook, 9mm teddy eyes, and then a stitch marker and darner needle. Now with the orange wool, you're going to do the exact same thing we did for Squirtle for the head, the body and the little arm, so I won't show that again, but I will link it here. So you should have all the same bits that the Squirtle had in orange. And I'm just going to sew on the head now, just because it's easier for placing things on it later. Then what you're going to do, you're going to get your cream, and we're going to make the stomach part. So you're going to do a magic circle with 4 stitches on it like we did before, and once you have that done you can slip it off your finger and tighten it like we've done before, and then you're going to do a row of 2 double crochets into each stitch the whole way around, and then you're going to do a row of 1 double crochet, then 2 double crochets into each stitch the whole way around as well. So once you have this part done, you're just going to chain some stitches until it's the length from up at the top of the body down to just past the body, because you're going to want it to carry on onto the tail. Once you're happy with the length, you're going to do a double crochet into the second stitch from the hook. So you're just going to skip 1 stitch and do a double crochet into the next. And you're going to do that the whole way up. Then once you meet the circle part, you're going to do a double crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then 2 double crochets into the 3rd stitch the whole way around the circle part until you meet the long part again. And once you meet the long part, you're just going to do a double crochet into each stitch the whole way down. And once you reach the end, you're going to chain 1 and then carry on your double crochets up the other side again. And then once you meet the top, you're going to do a slip stitch to meet with the circle. So for the slip stitch, you're going to put it into the loop, wrap it around and pull through both loops. So you should only have 1 loop left on your hook. And once that's done, you can cut off the excess and leave enough that you can sew it onto the body, and then just close it up. So once you have that done, we're going to start the tail. So with the orange, you're going to do a slip knot, and then you're going to chain 2. So this is the same method as we used for the little legs. So you're going to chain 2 and go into the first stitch and do that 4 times. So you should have 4 stitches on your circle. And then once you've done that, you're going to do 2 double crochets into each stitch the whole way around, and you should have 8 stitches on your circle. Once you have this row done, you're going to do about 3 to 4 rows of just a double crochet into each stitch the whole way around until you're happy with the length for just the top of his tail. Once this row is done, you're going to do 2 double crochets into the first stitch on the row, and then you're going to do a single double crochet into each stitch the whole way around. So you're going to keep repeating this row, so it should be 2 double crochets into each stitch, and then the rest of the row should be a single double crochet into each stitch. And you're going to do this until you're happy with how wide your tail is. If you want it to get wider quicker, you can do 2 double crochets into each stitch for 2 stitches and do them right next to each other, because you can see that where you do the 2 double crochets, it starts to curve the tail, giving it a nice shape. So once you're happy with the thickness of your tail, you're just going to do another 2 rows, or depending on how long you want your tail to be, of just plain double crochets the whole way around. And then once you have this done, you can finish it off and just stuff it. So I'm going to sew on the tail at this point, just because it is the next thing that you'll be sewing on. And once you have the tail sewn on, you're going to sew on your body, so the cream part. Now for the cream part, I generally scratch it just where it comes off the circle part, just to make it that little bit wider. And it will look like it's going to be a bit holy, but I will show you how to cover that up. So you can see in the middle, there does look like a little bit of orange can be seen through it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to thread the cream wool through down to the very end, and then loop it back and skip one stitch and loop it back up again just to fill up that little gap. And then that's it. Now once you have your body sewn on, you're going to sew on your little arms and legs. So the two smaller ones will go at the top and they can just come over the cream part, and the two bigger ones will be at the bottom, just meeting where the cream part is. So once you have his body sewn together, the last thing to do is his tail. So you're going to need your red, your yellow and orange, and you're going to cut 2 strips of each about 2 inches long. So there's 2 ways you can do this. The first way is just to loop the threads as they are and have a little wool tail, or I'm going to show you the method that I've come up with myself. I don't know how good the method is, it works for me, but yeah, I'm sure there is better ways to do it, so do keep in mind this is just something I've come up with. So my secret weapon for my one would be a small cat wire brush. So these are great now for pulling apart threads and making it look real fluffy. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your wool and you're going to separate the 3 pieces of wool. So you should have 3 curly pieces from each, so 6 of each colour. And you're going to do this for all of them. And once they're separated, you're going to take 2 of each colour and stack them on top of each other, and you're going to keep doing this just to spread out the colours, because you don't want all the reds to be bunched together and all the oranges to be bunched together. And once you've separated these, you're going to hold on to one side really tight, and you're going to get your brush and you're going to start brushing out the wool on the one side. And you can see here that it's going to start making it fluffy and kind of a bit more of a hair flame kind of look to it. So it will take a few brushes and you probably will lose a lot of volume. So if you want a fluffier tail, you can do more threads. And once you're happy with how one side is brushed out, you're going to hold on to the other and brush that side out too. And once you're happy that your tail looks like a flame, you can loop it on to your tail. So to do this, you're just going to push your hook through from the back out, wrap the middle part of the flame around, pull that through, wrap the rest of the tail around the hook and just pull that through the loop. And that is your little flame tail. Now you can trim this to be whatever size you want. I'm just going to trim it a little bit and then you can pull it to make it fluffy so it doesn't look like it's trimmed. And that is your Charmander done. If you do give this video a go, please hashtag RachelBethDIY on Instagram or Twitter. And if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Charmander. So we did Squirtle already. Hi Puka. Thanks so much. You're a star. What? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here to me. Oh, what's wrong with Jam? What's wrong? You're so annoying.